What's up, guys? Sea-Dog here, and you're watching Miller Time Motorsports, where dirt meets rubber. And hoping by the end of the video, at least it's my plan, we'll see, that motor will be out of here. That's going to be what this video is about. But I just want to show you guys real quick. Most of you guys probably don't care, but I'm pumped up about it. See it behind me? First paying job at Miller Time Auto, putting brakes on this old Impala. Pretty pumped up about that. So we're going to get this out of the way, get some other stuff done, and hopefully tonight, set up the video and pull this bad puppy out. I'm gonna do a lot of research on some heads and stuff, trying to decide if I'm gonna go with Vortec, bow ties or whatnot, but anyway, we're just gonna get her out and we'll figure it out from there. But yeah, we'll see you in the next, or I'll see you in a little bit. A little daily struggle for you guys. Back to the regular stuff. Put brakes on this sucker, and it's got a little noise in the left front, a little spin. It sounds like a backing plate's hitting or something. I can see where it's hitting the rotor on one of the slides. I've had it off freaking 3 times now. And listen, it's not rubbing, but as soon as I let it off the lift and drive it, it's gonna be rubbing. Just wait. So getting aggravated. Hopefully I finally get to freaking that car today. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, got that out of the way. It's time to work on the race car. So that's what's next. That motor is coming up today. I was kind of doubting it, but it's happening. I think I really don't have much to do here until someone else gets here to help me with some other stuff. So we're gonna get to work on that. But before we do that, we are pretty excited because something big just happened, guys, for the old Miller Time Motorsports. Guess what? We got our first sponsorship. So quick shout out to this sponsor here. I'll show it. But anyway, the one and only, we talk about them all the time, Fleming Family Racing, baby. They decided to hop on board and sponsor us for this year, and I just absolutely couldn't be more pumped up about it. If there's anyone to be my first sponsor, it would definitely be those guys. Go check them out. I'm telling you that they have a way better channel than I do, so go check it out. They are awesome people. They got freaking a ton of race cars, and they're consistent about making videos, and they're quality videos. So go check that out. But anyway, just quick shout out of that. That's huge for us. But anyway, it's time to get going. Let's talk cylinder heads. So there's an issue with this motor. She ain't legal. Lincoln Park and Paragon Speedway. The rule is you have to run a GM cast iron cylinder head. And what I have on there right now, they ain't that. So pretty much what they are is World Products Sportsman 2s. And that is a no-go. I love to keep them because they're good, expensive, nice flowing, just awesome heads. But I plan on freaking stepping it up a notch this year. You never know. I could get a top 3 next year, top whatever it is, top 5, whatever. So we're going to give it our all. And so I'd hate to get up there and then I'm not legal. So that is going to be an issue. So the best cylinder head money can buy that is legal at Lincoln Park and Paragon, that is technically still a GM head, is GM's Bowtie Vortec head. So what it is, it's not a production head. You can't find them in any stock cars. You have to go and special order them from GM, but it's still a GM head. They come with 2-inch intake valves, whatever the big exhaust valves are, 64cc combustion chamber, I believe, and they just flow awesome. And the cool thing about them is they will work with a Vortec style intake manifold or the early 80s, 70s and 80s intake. So that is sweet. That's something I'm really wanted to put on the car, but the issue is they're like $1,800 new, and I can't find them used. So if I want to buy them, it's going to be like $1,800, and then on top of that, I'd have to put new valve springs in it. They come ready to go, but the valve springs that they come with, they just can't handle the cams that we have. They're not big enough. So you got to put new valve springs in it. And other than that, I probably won't do anything to it because it's so expensive anyway. So there's that. But I haven't decided if I want to spend the money, justify spending it yet. So if I don't go with that, I've been doing some research if you guys want to know about any of the heads or options. So factory heads that were on the production line came out of trucks, cars, whatever. The next go-to, there's a couple of them. So one would be the camel hump or the double hump heads. Those are a head that came out in the late 60s, early 70s, I think, something like that. But they are pretty much the best factory head that you can buy, just all you can find in a junkyard. They flow really good. They come stock with 64cc chambers, and they just flow awesome. I think you can find them in the Z28s, and I don't know if they put them on pickup trucks or not, but they have that. The issue with that, camel hump heads don't come with accessory holes. If you don't know, that is what an accessory hole is right there. And as you can see, my power steering pump mounts to the head's accessory holes. So that's an issue. I can't really run those. Moving to another head that is an option that I'd really love to run, but I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, is a regular GM Vortec. It's not a bow tie Vortec, it's a Vortec head. So Vortec heads came out on the V8s, I believe in 96, and they went into like 2001. You can find them literally in any junkyard. I mean, they're a dime a dozen. There's two castings on them. I'm not sure which one's which. One's a little better than the other. But anyway, that's a really awesome flowing head. With a little bit of work, they can make you huge power. But the issue with those, a couple of things. This isn't really an issue. On a Vortec head, as you can see, I've got the perimeter bolts to mount your valve covers on. A Vortec head has the center holes. It's got holes in the center to hold it on. That's not really a big issue, but that's something that's different. The big issue is with these intake manifolds. I was telling you earlier, the Vortec bow ties, you can run these or the Vortec style manifolds. On the regular Vortec you find in a junkyard, you cannot. We have to run GM factory intakes. So, and once you get into 96, they weren't carbureted. They were throttle body injected or the port injected, all that stuff. So that's something you can't get. So what you end up having to do is these angles for the bolts are completely different on the Vortex. They are in the same locations, but they're just at a different angle. And pretty much you either have to, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this. I think you can drill into the cylinder heads somehow and make them work. Or what I've seen before, actually on one of my intakes I've seen, I have before, you can just drill and waller these holes out on the actual intake and make them fit onto the heads. And that's not something I really want to do. You get into all kinds of stuff. Something else is the ports for the coolant and all that stuff, the water jets and stuff. They don't line up just perfectly. There's just like a lot of machine work that you need to do, or just rednecking it out, and I don't want to do that. So Vortec heads are an awesome head for the money, but it's just not something I can do. Now something that it is a possibility for me to do is the casting. Well, first, if you guys don't know, on a casting number on a cylinder head, the last 3 digits is really what tells you what it is. It's then those are the important numbers. They're all the same, the last 3 digits, if it's that cylinder head. The beginning of the casting numbers is like the day is manufactured and stuff like that. That doesn't always matter, but I mean it can. But the last 3 digits is what you want. And I am looking for an 041 cylinder head. That is what I'm going to put on. They came out with, it's pretty much all it is a later version of the double humps or the camel humps. And they flow just about the same way. They're just a little later, meaning when they're later, they have the accessory holes for mounting your pump. So that's something I'm really thinking about doing. You can buy them a lot cheaper. The only issue is they're harder to find because I think they only made them for like 2 years. But really thinking about running those. They come stock with like a 64cc chamber, and they just flow a lot better. It's the same thing. I think they came on Camaros and stuff like that. There's the 041s, and there's also the 186s. The 186s are basically the same thing. They're just a little lighter. There's just not as much like on the deck and stuff like that. The 041s are the stronger heads, so I'd really like to find those, but we'll see. I'm just gonna keep shopping around and see what ends up happening. So that's the plan for cylinder heads. It's either gonna be 041s, probably not gonna run Vortex, probably not gonna run double humps, might run the Bowtie Vortex. So we'll see. Stay tuned on that. We'll make a decision. Let me know what you guys think if you guys are, gearheads and you know your stuff about heads. I may be wrong. You can tell me I'm wrong. But that's my knowledge on heads. I don't claim to be a professional. I've known a little bit of heads for a while, but I've been recently doing research, and that's what I've came up with. So yeah, that's about it. So real quick, before we pull this sucker out, I'm finally done talking here in a minute. Check this out. So this is the color I decided to go with. I went ahead and painted it just to see, see what I think, figure things out. It's the Rust-Oleum Gloss Cherry Red. I think I'm for sure gonna paint the body of this, but I'm trying to decide what I should paint the cage. I painted the cage, I think it looks awesome, red on red, but I haven't decided. I almost thought about going yellow again, just painting more yellow on red, but then I kind of didn't think that was a good idea. Let me know what you guys think I should paint the cage and any ideas on a paint scheme, but it looks like it's gonna be red this year. Let's pull this puppy out. So my record is like an hour and 20 minutes pulling one of these out by myself, but we'll see what happens. I'm not really in some huge hurry. I've got nothing to do. I'm here by myself. Can't get anything done until someone else gets here to help me with some stuff. So I'm just take my time, maybe drink some brewskis, and we'll see what happens. We'll take a little bit of time, but I'm gonna show you guys basically all that holds in it. So you see like kind of the front and all them and old number 7 garage, all that. They you see them pull their motor out, put new motors in and all that. They never actually explain what's going on. That's the whole point of me making this channel, is showing you guys freaking street stocks and the more details of what everything is going on. So basically, this is the easiest motor you can possibly pull out. I mean, this is the easiest motor you can pull out. Same thing, small block Chevy, but it's in a factory GM truck. So there's a little bit more that you got to deal with, but they're super, super easy to pull out. You come to a race car and there's even less you got to deal with, sorry. But so pretty much all you really got to do here is, obviously, I'll just give you a quick rundown. Some of you probably are like, F off, Sea Dog, we know what to do, but some of you might not. So pretty much just disconnect from your water pump. That's a big one here. You can get away with leaving your accessories on there. Let's see, I'm not sure how I'm gonna go about it yet. Probably take the power steering pump off, lay it over here. I will take that off. But let's see. Fuel lines have to come off. Those come off. Anything that's attached got to come off pretty much. Your distributor, you can leave your distributor on, but you have to pull this pigtail and all this out. So this is right here is your battery connection going into it and your tack connection and whatever, anything else. But you pull just that wiring out. You have down here is your oil pressure gauge that goes into here. That has to come out. Your water temperature, wherever that's at, you can have in all kinds of different spots. Mine's over here, but water pressure or water temperature, that's got to come off. Pull this off. You can pull them out in different ways. You can just grab them by the cylinder heads, or they make plates and stuff like that you can put on the actual intake where the carb bolt's on. I just bought one of those, so I might use that. Pull the carb off. You got to disconnect, obviously, your throttle off the carb. And then other than that, I mean, the header's got to come off. It's extremely, extremely simple. It's a little tight. I might have to take my starter off, but even if I don't, there's that. And then all you got with the manual trans, you don't have to deal with your torque converter bolts because you don't have a torque converter. If you have a automatic trans, like a Power Glide, you have torque converter bolts you got to get out. It's a manual trans, so all I got to do is a bell housing and yank it out of there pretty well. I actually don't know. I might end up just pulling the tranny with it. I haven't decided yet. That's coming out too. I'm not sure if it'll be in this video. But yeah, other than that, it's extremely simple. That's literally all you got to take off this thing. I'm sure I'm missing something, but the basics, that is it. So I lied to you about taking you through everything. Phone was dying and I just got busy and I don't know. But I didn't lie to you about drinking brewskis, that's for sure. Anyway, this is the point that we're at now. Got everything apart, I believe, just think off the top of my head, except for headers and bell housing. That is it. Everything else is off and ready to be pulled. So I guess that's next. It's just, this is the hard part, is everything's easy taking everything off. It takes no time at all. The hard part is positioning everything by yourself, holding the tranny up, holding the headers just right, and taking the starter off, just like making it loose just right, and getting everything to just flow out of there. It's just really tight the way everything sits in there, but we'll see how it goes. She's about out. All right, guys, it's the next day. Long story, but we'll skip the hi and how are yous and we'll get right into it. So at this point, we're probably gonna be doing this throughout the whole day because I got a lot going on, but little spurts at a time. So what we got going on now is I have to jack up the front end because the cherry picker does not fit under here without jacking the front end up. So I went ahead and did that. Then you gotta put the jack on the tranny, hold that up. Then you wanna get you your favorite chain that definitely is not rated for pulling motors, but we're gonna use it anyway. Put that on there, and now all you got is motor mounts and bell housing, and you just rip her out of there. So let's go ahead and get her out. Oh guys, remember when I said you should to grab your favorite chain that's not rated for pulling a motor? Don't do that. About had her out of there, and as you can tell, this chain was just attached. Now it's in two pieces. I don't know if I got that in the time lapse or not, or you probably didn't see it, but it just slammed down, probably broke all kinds of crap. It was almost out of there. It was just about to let go of the tranny, and then all of a sudden just boom, who knows what we broke. But anyway, we're gonna get another chain on there and get it out of there. She's sitting over here. Now what we gotta do is put her on the engine stand, and we'll see what happens on the next one. We gotta keep tearing it down. We're gonna tear that motor apart. That'll be in videos. I'll show you more about that. And here's something cool that I finally figured out. I couldn't figure out how to hold my transmission up so I can roll it without taking it out yet. And put this here and then chain it. That's all you gotta do. Hold it up and you can roll around. But anyway, this is a long enough video, so we'll see you guys in the next one.